Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about Samuel Taylor Coleridge. I am Rajni Meena, Assistant Professor, Government College Rawatwata. Let's discuss about Coleridge. Introduction. S.T. Coleridge was an English poet, literary critic, philosopher, theologian who, with his friend William Wordsworth, was a founder of the Romantic movement in England and a member of the Lake Poets. He also shared volumes and collaborated with Charles Lamb, Robert Southey, and Charles Eliot. He wrote the poem The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, Kubla Khan, as well as the major prose work Biographia Literaria. His critical work, especially on William Shakespeare, was highly influential, and he helped introduce German idealist philosophy to English speaking culture. Coleridge coined many familiar words and phrases, including suspension of disbelief. He had a major influence on Ralph Waldo Emerson and American transcendentalism. Though throughout his adult life, Coleridge had crippling bouts of anxiety and depression. It has been speculated that he had bipolar disorder, which had not been defined during his lifetime. He was physically unhealthy, which may have stemmed from a bout of rheumatic fever and other childhood illness. He was treated for this condition with laudanum, which fostered a lifelong opium addiction. His early life and education. Coleridge was born on 21 October 1772 in the town of Ottery St. Mary in Devon, England. Samuel's father was the Reverend John Coleridge, the well respected vicar of St. Mary's Church, Ottery St. Mary, and was headmaster of King's School, a free grammar school established by King Henry VIII in the town. He had previously been master of Hughes Square's School in South Malton, Devon, and lecturer of nearby Moreland. John Coleridge had three children by his first wife. Samuel was the youngest of 10 by the Reverend Mr. Coleridge's second wife, Anne Borden, probably the daughter of John Borden, mayor of South Malton, Devon in 1726. Coleridge suggests that he took no pleasure in boyish sports but instead read incessantly and played by himself. After John Coleridge died in 1781, 8-year-old Coleridge was sent to Christ Hospital, a charity school which was founded in the 16th century in Greyfriars, London. When he remained throughout his childhood, studying and writing poetry at that school, Coleridge became friends with Charles Lamb, a schoolmate, and studied the works of Virgil and William Liesel Bowles. In one of the series of autobiography letters written to Thomas Poole, Coleridge wrote, "At 60 years old, I remember to have read Barrison's Robinson Crusoe and Philip Corell, and then I found the Arabian Nights Entertainments, one tale of which made so deep an impression on me that I was haunted by spectres whenever I was in the dark, and I distinctly remember the anxious and fearful eagerness with which I used to watch the window in which the books lay. And whenever the sun lay upon them, I would seize it, carry it by the wall, and bask and read. Coleridge seems to have appreciated his teacher, and he wrote in recollection of his school days in Biographia Literaria. He later wrote of his loneliness at school in the poem Frost at Midnight. With the unclosed lid, already had I dreamed of my sweet birthplace. From 1791 until 1794, Coleridge attended Jesus College, Cambridge. In 1792, he won the Brown Gold Medal from an ode that he wrote on the slave trade. In December 1793, he left the college and enlisted in the 5th Light Dragoons, using the false name Silas Tomkin Comber, perhaps because of the depth or because the girl that he loved, Mary Evans, had rejected him. His brothers arranged for his discharge a few months later under the region of insanity and was readmitted to Jesus College, though he would never receive a degree from the university. Francisco Crazy and Maris, Cambridge and Somerset. At Jesus College, Cambridge, Coleridge was introduced to political and theological ideas, then considered radical, introducing those of the poet Robert Sade, with whom he collaborated on the play The Fall of Robespierre. Coleridge joined Sade in a plan later abandoned to find a utopian commune like society called Francisco Crazy in the wilderness of the Pennsylvania. In 1795, the two friends married sisters Sarah and Edith Fricker in Mary Radcliffe, Bristol. But Coleridge's marriage with Sarah proved unhappy. He grew to detect his wife, with whom he married mainly because of the social constructs. Following the birth of their fourth child, he eventually separated from her. In 1796, he released his first volume of poems entitled Poems on Various Subjects, which also included 4 poems by Charles Lamb, as well as a collaboration with Robert Sade and a work suggested by his and Lamb's school friend Robert Fauvel. Among the poems were Religious Musings, Monody on the Death of Chatterton, and an early vision of the Ilian harp entitled Effusion 35. A second edition was printed in 1797, this time including an appendix of work by Lamb and Charles Leloid, a young poet to whom Coleridge had become a private tutor. In 1796, he has privately printed sonnet from various authors, including sonnets by Lamb, Leloid, Sade, and himself, as well as the older poets such as William Lisle Bowles. Coleridge made plans to establish a journal, The Watchman, to be printed every 8 days to avoid a weekly newspaper tax. The first issue of the short-lived journal was published in March 1796. It has ceased publication by May of that year. In the year 1797-1798, during which he lived in what is now known as Coleridge Cottage in Neathers, Stowbay, Somerset was among the most fruitful of Coleridge's life. In 1795, Coleridge met poet William Wordsworth and his sister Dorothy. Beside the rhyme of the ancient mariner, Coleridge composed the symbolic poem Kubla Khan, written Coleridge himself claimed as a result of an affirmed dream in a kind of a reverie, and the first part of the narrative poem Christabel, the writing of Kubla Khan written about the Mongol emperor Kublai Khan and his legendary place at Xanadu, was said to have been interrupted by the arrival of a person from Porlock, an event that has been established upon in such varied context as science fiction and Nabokov's Lolita during this period, and he also produced his much praised conversation poems, his Lime Tree Bower, My Present, Frost at Midnight, and The Nightingale. In 1798, Coleridge and Wordsworth published a joint volume of poetry, Lyrical Ballads, which proved to be a starting point of the English Romantic Age. The West Midland and North. From 16 September 1798, Coleridge and the Wordsworth left for a stay in Germany. Coleridge soon went his own way and spent much of his time in university towns. In February 1799, he enrolled at the University of Göttingen, where he attended lectures by Johann Friedrich Blumenbach and Johann Gottfried Eichhorn. During this period, he became interested in German philosophy, especially the transcendental idealism and critical philosophy of Immanuel Kant, and in the literary criticism of the 18th century dramatist Gotthold Lessing. Coleridge studied German and after his return to England translated the dramatic trilogy Bellestian by the German classical poet Friedrich Schiller in English. He continued to pioneer these ideas through his own critical writings for the rest of his life. In 1798, Coleridge and Wordsworth stayed at Thomas Hutchinson's farm on the River Tees at Sockburn near Darlington. It was a Sockburn that Coleridge wrote his ballad poem Love, addressed to Sarah Hutchinson. The knight mentioned is the mailed figure on the conveyor's tomb in ruined Sockburn Church. The figure has a woman at his feet, a reference to the Sockburn womb slain by Sir John Conyers. The worm was supposedly buried under the rock in the nearby pasture. This was the gravestone of the Coleridge's first draft, later transformed into a mount. The poet was a direct inspiration for John Keats' famous poem La Belle Dame sans Merci. Later life, an increasing drug, travel and the friend. In 1804, he travelled to Sicily, Malta, working for a time as acting public secretary of Malta under the civil commissioner Alexander Wall, a task he performed quite successfully. He lived in St. Anton Palace in the village of Etrard. He gave this up and returned to England in 1806. Dorothy Wordsworth was shocked at his condition upon his return from 1807 to 1808. Coleridge returned to Malta, then travelled to Sicily, Italy, in the hope of leaving Britain's damp climate would improve his health, and thus enabled him to reduce his consumption of afim. In 1809, Coleridge made his second attempt to become a newspaper publisher with the publication of the journal entitled The Friend. It was a weekly publication that, in Coleridge's typically ambitious style, was written, edited, and published almost entirely single-handedly. London and final years and death. Between 1810 and 1820, Coleridge gave a series of lectures in London and Bristol. Those on Shakespeare renewed interest in the playwright as a model for contemporary writers. Much of the Coleridge's reputation as a literary critic is founded on the lectures that he undertook in the winter of 1810 to 11, which was sponsored by the Philosophical Institution and given at the Scots Corporation Hall of Fetter Lane, Fleet Street. The lectures were heralded in the prospectus as a course of lectures on Shakespeare and Milton, an illustration of the principles of poetry. In 1812, he allowed Robert Southey to make use of extracts from his vast number of private notebooks in their collaboration of Omniana or Hore Otius Shores. In Gilman's home, Coleridge finished his major work, Prose, the Biographia Literaria, a volume composed of 23 chapters of autobiographical notes and dissertations on various subjects, including some incisive literary theory and criticism. Coleridge died in Highgate, London on 25 July 1834 as a result of heart failure compounded by an unknown lung disorder, possibly linked to his use of afim. Coleridge had spent 18 years under the roof of the Gilman family, who built an addition onto their home to accommodate the poet. Remains. Coleridge is buried in the aisle of St. Michael's Parish Church in Highgate, London. He was originally buried at Old Highgate Chapel, but was reinterred in the St. Michael's in 1961. Coleridge could see the red door of then new church from his last residence across the green, where he lived with a doctor he had hoped might cure him. When it was discovered Coleridge's vault had become derelict and the coffin, Coleridge and those of his wife, daughter, son-in-law and grandson were moved to St. Michael's after an international fundraising appeal. Thank you. We will discuss more about Coleridge in next video.